Well, here it is, guys. Sup, it's Preacher Man Sports back again with another video. And official news is that Rob Walton is purchasing the Broncos, and he's an heir to Walmart, actually. So that's what it was. So I know I saw this about a day ago on Forbes, but it wasn't official. It had to wait a little bit. I thought it said it was gonna wait until like a couple weeks before the paperwork gets filed. And yeah, I'm looking at it on Instagram. I found out on Mike Kliss's Twitter. Broncos GOAT right there. He's the one who posts the official reports. But I'm just gonna look some more just in case. I'm just gonna look into it some more. So yeah. So yeah, he's purchasing the Broncos for about 4.6 billion, I think. Let me just see. Yeah, 4.65 billion. And also this lady named Melody Hubson. She's co-CEO of Ariel Investments and Starbucks. She's also gonna be in part of it. I don't know what else she's gonna be in it, but I mean I kind of saw this coming because they were gonna get Rob Walton because he has the most money, and yeah, and we've been without an owner for years since Pat Bolin died, and his cancer, it kind of got worse, and he couldn't fulfill his duties as Broncos owner. And then his kids were fighting over who should do it, and then they eventually got the court to sell it. And shockingly, Broncos sell were the highest in sports history, with that being up for about 4 billion, and being sold for 4.65 billion. And the Broncos now have the richest owner by far in the NFL. So I know the Broncos originally are a medium market team, but since Rob Walton is there, it's probably gonna be a big market, so we can pay players better, give them the money they want, not overpay, but still give them money. Like once Russ does one season with Denver, then we can extend them and resign them. And the possibilities, I heard that Rob Walton is gonna come through and try and build another stadium, which personally I don't. I think it's fucking bullshit, and I just rather stick with our stadium. I mean, people give it a 4 star, so I don't think you should change it. It looks great the way it is. Like if it gets old, then you can change it. If they do make a new stadium, then I don't want it to be indoors. I just want it to be open. And then there's possibilities that we could get new uniforms because the owner might change it up a little. But yeah, he might renovate the current stadium, like the seats, the concessions, and stores and stuff. But I know for sure that probably the Broncos are gonna be in Walmart jerseys and merchandise gonna be in Walmart stores more likely. But I know people think it's a fucking joke because it's a Walmart Air. But this is weird because actually in the Colorado Avalanche, fuck that team by the way. And the Denver Nuggets are actually owned by an heir of Walmart, but they're not technically owned by Walmart. They're just owned by that person who's an heir of Walmart. It doesn't mean that they're owned by Walmart because the Avs and I don't see them in Walmart commercials at all. So it's just their separate ownership. But this was the official news that he got it through, and so far, I think it looks fine. But I say that this is probably the best move you can make because the other ones they're probably competitive, but Rob Walton, he probably they wanted the most money, and yeah, and clearly he fit because his net worth is actually 57 billion, and with that he's now the richest owner in the NFL because the richest was Robert Kraft from the Patriots or that guy from the Panthers, but I don't know what will happen next. But at least the ownership is finally taken care of. So now that people don't say, "Oh, you're a dysfunctional organization," well, now look at us now, richest owner in the NFL. But we'll just have to see what happens later on because I don't know what he's gonna do in the first changes. But I'm just gonna keep looking on Twitter to see what else he could do. Like I don't know like what they do. Like the previous record was the Carolina Panthers apparently who sold it for 2.5 billion back in 2018. That was after like they got rid of their GM Dave Gettleman and such. But I don't know. We'll just so far, that's just the news so far what I got. But this is the official news. Mike Kliss reported it, so you know it's official because he's the Broncos reporter. And all everyone else, unless it's approved by Mike Kliss, then it's not real. But as long I'm pretty sure they're not gonna relocate. That's only if their market is so bad, and then that happens. And the Broncos market is pretty decent, and nobody wants to leave Denver. Why would you leave that city? But this is probably the most logical move. Apparently, I kind of knew this was gonna happen. Some people were saying, "Oh, you're owned by Walmart." Not necessarily, but just let them run their mouth. But this guy, I don't know his full background, but he's old. I don't know. I heard from a particular someone that they probably gonna once he dies because he's like 70s, he's like in his mid 70s, and he's gonna be taken over by his son-in-law or something. And the lady I mentioned, who's like the co-owner of Starbucks, is gonna be in it, so she could probably take over if he dies. And I don't know what's the first order of what's gonna happen once he gets the new stadium done. That's if they even do a stadium. I doubt it though. I hope not, because we're fine with what we got. But I don't even know why I said that. But I don't know what's the first order of business or what he's gonna do, what he's gonna change. I hope he doesn't change much. Like you could just renovate the stadium a little bit. Just don't like tear it down. But I don't know. If they take out stadium and move it to somewhere else, I think it's fucking cap and bullshit. But we'll just have to see what happens and move it forward, take it one step at a time. But the good news is at least the ownership problem is finally fixed, and now we're not so much of a dysfunctional organization. But I personally just like this. Richest owner in the NFL. He shattered the record for buying a sports team. I just can't wait to see what the first order of business is gonna do. Hopefully, it's better than any other one. But tribute to Pat Bowlen, rest in peace to him, one of the greatest owners to help the Broncos get their 3 Super Bowls. He's been with the Broncos for around 30 years until, his illness got to him too badly and he had to step back and then he eventually died. Rest in peace to a legend in him. But that's all I wanted to say, guys. I know this video is probably long as hell, but that's all I want to talk about. Rob Walton purchasing the Broncos. And so far, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Go Broncos.